What's going on, everybody? My name is Brutal Mellow, and I'm sitting here with Zoast and ShinyZeni on the final night of Summer Games Done Quick 2023. Are y'all having a good time?
Lovely.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. I hear the crowd. They sound like they're pretty hype. I don't know. Are y'all hype for this? That's great. Me too. I want to start by asking you a few questions. First, I want to take a trip down memory lane. Let's start with you, Zoast. This is going to be your 10-year anniversary since your first GDQ run. How do you feel about that?
It didn't hit me until a couple of days ago, but then, it's, I don't know, like it was a very special time for me, like all those first GDQs I did. So,
right.
Yeah.
And your eighth
brings back a lot of
performance.
memories.
Yeah, your eighth performance of Super Metroid. It's something you've obviously been running for a long time. And it's actually quite an interesting duality, right? We have Zoast, like a classic Super Metroid runner. You've been doing this for so many years. And then recently, in the last few years, ShinyZeni, you've come in and you've had, now this is your fourth run at a GDQ mainline, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now talk to me about how you two came together, right? Like classic and new school to do this co-op run. Like, how did that come to be?
So I started streaming on Twitch because of Zo's channel, actually.
Oh.
And, after a while of doing runs, I had my RBO run at GDQ. We just sort of became friends, and co-op was just something that sounded fun to us. So, we decided to pick it up, and we did that a few years ago. And we wanted to submit it, but we wanted to do it at an in-person event, so.
Right. And so tell me about, like in the last probably 6 months or so, we were talking a little bit, is when you two picked this up again and decided to run at this GDQ. What did the practice look like playing co-op and probably doing that online, if I'm guessing, and maybe not in person?
I'll let you take that one.
We did a lot of online practice, and a lot of it was just trying to get the logistics right as well, and working with the devs for the multi-Troid.
Right.
What we connect to play co-op. So
yeah,
there's a lot of different facets to it, but you do solo practice to grind out but you need the practice together to play off each other.
And also, like a lot of the routing that went into this, is it something that each one of you took point in a particular area, or is that somebody's specialty?
The routing?
Right.
Okay, it's pretty similar to the one that was previously a world record. We made a few changes with it. Some of the other co-op runs were more intense to route and had a lot of more room to change the route around, but we already liked the 100% route a lot. For two-player co-op, it really, I don't know, it's a beautiful route, so I'm glad we get to show it off.
Right, yeah, and I'm excited. Hopefully, I think we're gonna get to see 100%, and that's actually the preference of both of you, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And now we also have, of course, the Save the Animals versus Save the Frames incentive. I know personally, I always lean towards saving the frames. How about you two?
I don't know, Zeni. I'm kind of up in the air. What do you think?
It's a hard decision. Definitely Save the Frames.
Save the Frames. That's 2 votes for Save the Frames. What
I'm just going to go with that because him, I didn't want to be a bad guy. Right. Since he, I figure out.
Yeah, come on. You want to Save the Frames? I thought, what do we want to do in the chat? What do we want to do in the audience? Do we want to Save the Frames or Save the Animals? Let me hear it. That's a lot for animals. And I believe the actual incentive right now is leaning a lot towards Save the Animals. But tell me, why would saving the frames be nicer for you two?
Because it's faster.
It's faster, right?
Because it's faster.
Right. And also, like, kind of the timing, right? In sense of what would it, if you had to go save the animals, it would be something that only one of you could actually do, right?
Right. It could throw off our who finishes first. So we're hoping to finish around the same time. Just it looks better. It's
Yeah.
It's more pleasing that way.
Right. It's awesome when you have a finish where it's like nearly in sync.
Right.
But so I guess, to the viewers at home, if you are trying to throw off the runners and you want to, you can go ahead and donate to Save the Animals. But if you want to make us all happy, donate to Save the Frames, and we'll see if they can make a push back and how much money that incentive raises for MSF. But I do have another question for you both. Clearly, like, Super Metroid is a very important game to each of you. It's what I think you primarily run or what you submit at these events. And if you could summarize, Zoast, we'll start with you. Like, what do you think Super Metroid means to you?
Well, it really fit me well when I picked it up. I don't know. I like the input-heavy style of it, but there's not a lot of frame perfect blocks to it. It's a lot about. I have a background of fighting games, a decent bit of background in that, and it reminds me of that a lot. A lot of different motions on the D-pad, and so some of that transferred over, and it felt natural to me.
Right.
But Super Metroid is just an amazing game. The mechanics are ridiculous for a Super Nintendo game, and we appreciate that a lot. So
yeah,
it's a beautiful game to show off, and it's so deep that we can play it for so long and still find stuff and be challenged by it and all that good stuff.
Right. So it sounds like if I could summarize it in a word for you, comfort, maybe, right? Like it's something that you just know and something that you just vibe with.
I don't know if I would go with comfort for the game.
No, it's hard. It's not easy at all.
I should be more agreeable, but yeah.
All right, and what about you, Zeni? What would you say that it means to you?
Yeah, so for me, I first played it when I was a kid. That's not true of everybody who speedruns it, but it is for me. And when I was a kid, my favorite thing to do in Super Metroid was to figure out how to do stuff early. I can like bomb jump up here before I have these items that would normally get me up there. Basically, I saw speed runs, I saw sequence breaking, I saw beautiful movement, and it just really vibed with me on that level as well because of it. So
yeah. Well, hey, I'm excited for the run. It's going to be coming up after Baron of Shell, so please stay tuned, get those incentives in. We want to make sure that we want to see you save the frames. A lot of people at home want to see you save the animals. I want to see what the audience wants. So if y'all can just tell me real quick, real loud, you want to save the frames or save the animals? That's really loud. Can you cheer just as loud for ShinyZeni and zoast? All right, thank you very much. That does it for the final interview of SGDQ 2023, and that's all for me. Back to you, Mr. Game and Shout. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Mello. Good evening, morning, whenever you are, wherever you are. Happy time zone, everyone. I'm Mr. Game and Shout, and I will be hanging out with you here on the host desk for the rest of Summer Games Done Quick 2023. We are just getting ready for Grand Pooh Bear to take the stage, but first, we'd like to get a couple of words in from some friends of ours.
This is the GDQ Hotfix. Games Done Quick's diverse roster of shows that deliver a flavor of speedrunning for everyone.
But they do. Oh yeah, I forget. Here's like real gaming right here.
What is this RNG? So we shoot here, grapple here, you shoot here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. I has Voldemort. No.
This is the duffel bag Ashley skip.
We got a PB.
Catch our streams every day on twitch.tv/gamesdonequick.
Other Worlds is a Red Bull gaming content series hosted by Red Bull player and speedrunner David Grand Pooh Bear Hunt that highlights niche, unconventional games and the players driving each community. Turn into new episodes each month at youtube.com/@RedBullLFG. Just me, or did that guy look familiar? All right, let's start trying to catch up on some donations that we've got here. There was a lot of run coming in, or there was a lot of run. It is morning, everybody. Lot of love coming in during that Breath of the Wild run. We had $250 that came in from Blue Pete. Had to donate during this Breath of the Wild run. I've recently started playing this game, and I love seeing Bubsy of Speed Blast blindfolded. That is a feat of gaming right there. I will give you that. $100 came in from Victor Nupp. This is amazing, and thank you for showing us how this is possible for everyone. $10 came in from Big Al. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to speedrun with you again. Bubsia, probably. Grins of Vogel sent in $50. Just got out of bed because my little daughter is a bit of an early riser. Now she is lying next to me on the couch, constantly complaining why Link is acting so funny and why he is naked. I can't tell you how much I enjoy this. Thank you all for another great week of great gaming. I've got word. We are ready to go up to the stage for Grand Pooh Bear and Baron of Shell. Take it away, sir.